Jerry, we're just 6 months removed from a pretty painful loss, that you could say, for the franchise. I know in the days after you met with the team, you've met with Mike McCarthy many times over the course of the last 6 months. You've talked about wanting to carry some motivation into the season from that loss, but how can you also ensure that there's not a hangover as well?
Well, candidly, I want there to be a scar there, and I say that figuratively. But I've found in my life that remembering how bad it hurts helps, as long as it doesn't limit you in terms of your productivity. So I want all of the reminders to be there. I don't want anybody to have a hangover, okay? And I want everybody to be wanting to, if given that opportunity. Now, I knew when we didn't beat Green Bay that it's going to be almost a year before we got another chance. Now, that's a long time to stew in it. And a lot of what you've seen in the off season is part of the stewing. You have to go through a lot to get where we were. We were healthy. We had our best players out there. We were ready to go. And we were ready to go win some more ball games than we won. I remember that here in August, and I know they do too. So to me, it's productive to be reminded of a heavy disappointment.
Speaking of some of that off-season stewing, you see some guys like Tyron Smith, Tony Pollard, Tyler Biotish, Pro Bowl level players that you couldn't quite bring back in free agency, but you put a lot of trust in the youth on this team. Why do you have the trust in the youth on this team, the coaching staff, to put them in the right place?
We had several younger players last year that should have played more normally, but you had those players. We call that progress stoppers, but of course, Tyron Smith is a progress, but he isn't. You want him on your team. You want Biotish on your team. But the facts are, we had a lot of players, handful of players that should have played more and can play more. They'll get their chance this year. It's a lot of the reason why we didn't step out and do more in free agency, because we wanted those young players to get on the field and play this year.
We're also able to get some contracts done when we were out here last year. Trayvon Diggs, Malik Hooker, Terrence Steele as soon as we got back to Frisco. What is it about this place that maybe puts some contracts on the table and allows things to work out here?
Well, let me put it like this. What you should point to is you can have contracts with players, and that still doesn't mean that they're going to play under the contract. And so when somebody looks at contracts, you got these contracts, you've got that what if. That's life. That's life, and I understand it. But you have to work through it, and you can't flare when it doesn't go exactly to form. You've got to make an adjustment. You've got to sit down and work through it and work it out. Now, this is a thing called pro football, NFL football, and I'm not singing the blues because I love it. And it's just part of the game to have to go through, whether it be a Martin from last year. What you've got this year is you've got Dak Prescott, that's last year of his contract, and unlike other teams with their quarterbacks, he's in here playing. Other teams have had their quarterbacks not even come to camp with a contract. Dak's not doing that. Something done.
My last one for you, Jerry. Fan base apathy. You've probably heard that term over the course of the last week from the media. Whether that's the case or not the case, why should the fan base have confidence that this team can still win a Super Bowl?
Well, let me just say this. I think our fan base is frustrated. And I think they want to beat a Green Bay, and I think they want to beat the next one that comes up. Now, we're the second seed in the whole NFC, and we were as healthy as any club that has been in the playoffs in many years. Not just the Cowboys, any club. We were healthy. We should have gone further. And we had a quarterback that arguably was the most valuable player in the league last year. We should have gone further. Now, my read from our fan base is frustration, apathy, not when you are so far ahead of the rest of the league. This is a league that takes every 32 clubs. We are eons ahead of other clubs when it comes to our ticket renewal, season tickets, timing of season tickets. When you look at television and you look at the teams that they watch on TV, we're going away, number one. That's not apathy. They may be hot, they may be wanting more, but they're not apathetic.
So confidence remains high, right, Jerry?
So, well, confidence. I just want to get out here and beat a Green Bay in the next one that comes up.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation? It's your boy DMV. So before I do anything else, before I say anything else, I just want to say shout out to Nick Harris, DallasCowboys.com. Look, there's a part that Jerry talked about with the fans and ticket sales being up and they're being I guess the apathy conversation. There is no big brand without guys like Nick Harris, without guys like Derek Eagleton, without that Dallas Cowboys media staff over there. You know what I'm saying? The actual, not the beat writers. I'm talking about the actual DallasCowboys.com staff. There is no brand without those guys. You know, the way that they cover camp, the way that they have the podcast throughout the year. For me, I started doing this because of the break. I listen to the break every day. So there is no brand without those guys. So I hope somebody can forward this to Jerry and say, look, make sure you're taking care of those guys over there because without them, they make your job easy. All right. I just want to say that. They make you guys your job easy. Even Nick Harris here cleaning up what you fumbled the other day or trying to clean up, because I know that that's what this is. This was a cleanup. You know, when presidential candidates, they mess up in the debate, they get cooked in the debate or something like that, and then they got to go out and it's damage control. That's what this was. Jerry's not good when things aren't as controlled. That's why they don't like us YouTubers, because they can't control us. That's why they don't like us. You understand what I'm saying? The reason I know they don't like us is Law Nation's out there every year and they ain't rolling out the red carpet for Law. And they should be, because Law has helped grow the brand probably even sometimes more than the people that are in that building. So I know for a fact, Jerry doesn't like the things that he can't control. I don't know if Steven cares so much about it, but they don't like the things they can't control for their brand. But let me tell you this, and I'm going to start with the ticket sales and the stuff he said at the very end of that. Bruh, just because ticket sales are up, just because season tickets, renewal is high, don't mean that the fans, it don't mean that there's loyalty there, bro. It's an investment. I know for a fact there was a season ticket holder that's barely going to games. They're going to sell them. And they'll sell them to people from other teams who want to see their teams play. The fact that Jerry sat here and tried to tell us fans, like what the fans are thinking. Bro, you have no damn clue what the fans are thinking. You want to know how I know that? Exactly what I just said. Like, you got YouTubers, you got Law Nation, who is independently built, over 100 some odd subs, without you guys, without the love from the organization. You don't know what the damn fans want, so stop talking for us. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Early sets of dementia or whatever the hell it is setting in. So, part of me feels bad, but every time they put him on the mic or every time they put him, and he fumbles and says some things that's crazy, I'm going to talk about it. Contracts. He didn't answer Nick Harris's question. He answered whatever the hell it is he wanted to talk about. But I think he knew what the question was ahead of time. But the questions were very, very good, though. You know what I'm saying? The questions were good. But I think what he was trying to say about the contract situation is last year they signed some contracts and they got buyer's remorse on them. I think Zach Martin is one of them. And I think it's weird because Trayvon Diggs is getting hurt. Like, how you have buyer remorse off of that? But I think what they're looking at some of these young guys, and when they talked about progress stoppers, and they talked about letting Tyron go, and talked about I guess Tony Pollard is technically one of them. Gallup, progress stoppers. They had some young guys last year that should have played more. I thought Hunter Lipke should have got more snaps, and you wouldn't have had that issue in Miami. But you had Tony Pollard that y'all were trying to feed because y'all messed that up by franchising him, by franchise tagging him. And Rico did some really good work last year, and I think they signed Zeke as a cheap source in case Rico goes down. But I think that they really want Rico to take over that spot because I think they're looking at Deron Bland and what Deron Bland was able to do last year, and when he got his snaps the year prior, because of injury or whatever, Deron Bland never looked back. And I think that they believe some of these young guys can do that. If you look at Jalen Tolbert right now, he has no Michael Gallup to take snaps away. So Jalen Tolbert has every opportunity to step up and be that. Number 13, I forget his goddamn name. I forgot his name. But young boy is out there killing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to see the snips in the back. Like, he killing it right now. I think at one point he said, I'm effing him or something like that. But that's beside the point. I think they really believe in these young guys. But when you believe in these young guys, that goes against what you're talking about with all in. But I don't look. All in, we're going to take that. We're going to put it in a box and we're going to throw it in the ocean. All right. Because that's not what this was right here. But I do like how they've constructed the roster, and I do like the direction that this team is going. If we sign the quarterback, if we sign the receiver, but I do like the thing that I did like about Jerry's interview, and it's like every once in a while, the old guy will say something really, really profound. And when he talked about holding on to that scar for Green Bay, I felt that because whenever I'm coaching myself and we lose a playoff game, look, I'm not going to sit here and hold y'all and say and make y'all think that I've won a whole bunch of like state championships. I haven't. I'm still chasing that. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been on the state championship staff. So I'm still chasing that. So you hold on to the scars of your failures from the year before. You don't necessarily dwell on them, but you remember what that feels like, and you don't want to feel like that again. So you do things so that you don't feel like that again. So I felt him when he said that. That being said, I don't necessarily agree with not bringing in some of the free agents. Like, their thing is let some of these young guys step in. Well, you got a head coach on a 1-year deal. Like, do you feel like you got your quarterback on a 1-year deal? That I don't know what message that's really sending, except for maybe if y'all don't win, you gone. But the message is clear to me. If they don't win if they get to a divisional round again, if they don't get to at least the NFC Championship, Mike McCarthy's gone. That's what I got from this interview, because he specifically talked about Green Bay in the next one, and he kept bringing it up. So let me know what y'all thought from that interview. But yesterday was an off day. Today will be practice again. I just kind of wanted to touch on that interview. Nick Harris did an excellent job. Kudos to you, sir. And leave your comments in the comment section, and we out. Peace.
Turn the pressure up. I don't quit. I don't fold under pressure. I'm the best, and I know I'm the best. And you know I'm the best.
Yeah, here we go.
Says on the beat, boy.
Hey.
Cause he wanna light. Headlights, I've been with midnight through the city. I've been going through some things, trying to get my mind right. Push the bucket to the lip, push that bitch into the fence. Gotta get the full control, gotta get my mind right. Headlights, I've been with midnight through the city. I've been going through some things, trying to get my mind right. Push the bucket to the lip, push that bitch into the fence. Gotta get the full control, gotta get my mind right.